how to get triggered. How to get triggered in a safe and healing way without fucking yourself up. I love getting triggered. Everyone loves getting triggered, right? Everyone gets triggered no matter if they want to get triggered or not. And when I say triggered, I mean just like full shadow self is here, like inner child wounds. You're starting to act like a wounded animal. It's messy, it's icky, it's vulnerable, it's raw, it's uncomfortable. You don't know how to act, you don't know what to do, you don't even know how to ask for help because you're triggered and you're not thinking straight. And this happens to every one of us, and even if you don't admit it, it is part of life. And there is a way to get triggered, at least for me, that can really be transformative and powerful and healing. And there's also a way to get triggered that makes things worse. And I don't want to say there's a right and a wrong way, but there's a way that I've found that really helps me like move forward instead of creating more problems for myself. Okay, so I've had a little bit of, I guess, experience in this. I've had many experiences where I got triggered and I created some more triggering situations for myself. And I also have had situations where I got triggered and at the end of it, I felt like I had went through a portal and was a different person on the other side. And it felt like I had tied up some loose ends that were kind of haunting me for a while. And I think getting triggered is very important, because has anyone ever experienced like an intrusive thought or like an OCD thing where it's like you get like triggered, whatever happens, and you suppress it and you're like, no, I can't deal with that. No, where the fuck did that come from? No, I can't handle it. Like, I'm just gonna push this under the rug because like I'm at work or whatever. It's just not the time. So you push it under, and then the rest of the day it's lingering and you don't know what it was. You kind of forgot, but there's like an uncomfortable feeling, like itching away, and it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of looms over you, and like I said earlier, like a ghost haunting you. And I don't know if that's common, but I experience that all the fucking time. I'll just be like, in my mind, I'll be like, what was I fucking anxious about? Or what was I fucking dooming about? What the hell was that? And then I'll pop up again and I'll be like, oh, it was that, it was this, or whatever. And it's like, I don't want to do with that anymore. Like, fuck that, whatever. Here's the thing. It's never going to go away until you sit with it at least a little bit. And I want to walk you through the steps and the processes that I walked myself through, my latest trigger, and how I came out of it a different person. And I'm going to use a couple examples of my past relationships. Hopefully, if they're watching, I'm not going to use their names or anything like that, but it's really like my experience through the situation. It's not like coming at them at all. It's really how I handled certain things. So here's the thing. In order for me to do this video, I have to be vulnerable and raw with you guys, because that's part of getting triggered, and part of the way to heal and move through it is to be vulnerable and is to be honest. And I'm going to just have to walk through those steps with myself and with you guys to even prove my point. Okay, so I dated this guy for like a year, and we were pretty serious, and I think we always like there was always this thing like of being poly or like dating other people, sleeping with other people. We never actually did it, but we had a lot of conversations about it. And there was like this person I knew that my partner like wanted to kind of get with, which I feel like polyamorous stuff needs to be done in the right way for it to even work, because it really is just triggering and like whatever, uncomfortable when you're not like in a safe environment and you're communicating it right. But going back to my story. So after we broke up, we still lived with each other, and he started seeing this person like very shortly after we broke up. And yeah, like I'm trying to think. Yeah, shortly after we broke up, we were still living with each other, and it was fucking triggering, right? He didn't tell me who it was, but I knew who it was. Like my intuition, like I fucking knew it. And later I found out I was right. But whatever. So fast forward, I move out and I like go over there to get the rest of my stuff, and he tells me that he's dating this person. And in the moment, I did not react. I went into survival mode and I was like, oh, cool, whatever, that's fine. And then I went home and I literally, I tried to go to sleep, and I could not for the fucking life of me go to sleep. I was so fucking angry. I was triggered. I was hurt. I felt betrayed. I was still paying rent on that house, which I probably shouldn't have done. But I was paying rent, and I was just like, I can't believe he's with this person and I'm still paying rent, blah, 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 blah. I literally, my shadow was out. And a lot of the times, step number one, so the trigger has happened. The feelings are coming. The shadow is present. The shadow is there. You know, I think the first step to getting triggered is to just be aware that your shadow is there. Your wounded self is fucking like in the house, right? You have to recognize her or their presence. And I did not do that in this example that I'm about to tell you. I did not. Instead of realizing that I was extremely hurt and I was actually just so fucking sad, I turned it into anger and rage. And that's okay to be angry. I think anger is part of getting triggered. But for me, I don't like to feel anger. I don't like to feel sad, so I feel angry. I get angry. And so I texted this motherfucker's phone. I blew his phone up. I said everything I would want to say. I was like, can't believe you did this. I knew it, blah, blah, blah. I said some fucked up shit. I'm not proud. Sometimes I look back at some of the things I said, and I don't want to say some of this shit was just out of pocket. And I'm not going to share that with you because I'm already being vulnerable enough. But I said some fucked shit, right? Like anyone does when they're texting their ex, right? When they're having a fight. This motherfucker decided to block me. And that triggered me 10 times more. I was like, holy fuck, like I can't text this guy, like whatever. I don't know, it was bad. And I definitely had to work through that a long time, like just having no contact and like being triggered and knowing he was with other people. Like it definitely was a slap in the face. So recently, I'm going to tell you a story of how I got triggered with a similar situation, but I was able to walk through that, I think in a way better situation. So my whole thing, obviously with that trigger, was jealousy and insecurity, and I wanted to feel special. I wanted to feel like I was the only one who had that energy with somebody. Like I was possessive and jealous and insecure, and I, like I said, wanted to be special. And I think finding the root of your trigger like that is fucking like the whole thing. It's the whole deal, the whole shebang. Understanding, oh, I'm jealous as fuck right now. And I think it's really hard to say that about yourself because everyone's trying their best and they never want to be like a jealous type, you know? And just because you're not jealous all the time doesn't mean you can't feel jealousy, and it's okay to name it out loud. So recently, this isn't with another person, we broke up and I really loved him and we were still trying to be friends afterwards, and I like texted him and he didn't text me back, and for like days and days and days, and I like got it in my head that he was with somebody, like dating somebody, and like it would wash over me like a fucking animal. Like it would just be like attack me like a trigger, you know? And I would just like brush it off. I'm just like, no, fuck it, whatever, I don't give a shit. Like he can be with other people, blah, blah, blah. But it kept fucking haunting me. And I had this nightmare where he was like living his life that I had wanted with us with somebody else. And I was like, it was literally haunting me so bad. I was like, holy shit, I need to like work through this. And so one night, I kind of had a similar experience to the other time. I got so angry and triggered, and it just like washed over me like a wave of rage. And I just heard myself like in my mind saying like, she's here. Like my shadow is here. And I had been suppressing it for so long. It just like came at me so hard. And I was fucking triggered. It was like I was like in that little like ball of like raw, messy, whatever feelings. And this was like 2 years after that maybe 3 years, 2 or 3 years after that other experience, and it felt very similar. And the initial urge was to blow up the motherfucker's phone. It was to fucking say some shit to relieve my trigger and to like get that satisfaction of like it was a compulsive thing. I think people get compulsive when they're getting triggered and they don't know how to make it stop. So they'll either say some fucked up shit, do some fucked up shit, whatever. And I was not going to do that. I was like, I'm better than this. I need to fix this in a healthy way. So here is what I did. I recognized my shadow was in the room with me. I realized that was a very important and special moment, even if it was feeling like shit. I realized that my shadow work is very important, and you can only really do shadow work when you're feeling your shadow. So I realized that I was honored to even be in the same room as my shadow. And then I started naming all of the things that I was struggling with, and emotions and feelings and identifications. I was like, I'm jealous, I'm insecure, I don't feel special, I feel abandoned, I feel unwanted, I feel just left behind, I feel whatever, just like really getting it, like naming anything that came to the top of my head about it. And then I was like, I am not those identifications. I am not these feelings. I am just feeling them. And I think personifying yourself with your feelings is very important in this step, because if you're like feeling like bad for feeling jealous or feeling whatever, then you're not ever going to heal what you're actually going through. You're just going to create more problems for yourself. You're going to just get more insecure about naming all of these things. And once you realize like, I am not these things, these are just coming through me, that opens yourself up kind of more freely to like look down upon what's actually going on, and it kind of gives you back control over your autonomy and your mind and your soul. Because when you're triggered, sometimes you have no control and you just don't know what's going on, and you get anxiety about anything, and you can go down a rabbit hole. So not identifying with your feelings that you name is, I think, like the third step. So the fourth step is to, understand, like, if you're feeling angry or sad, to just let it hit you. Like, let it come on you. Let the energetic, like, channel kind of like open the floodgates and let it hit you. And while you let it hit you, realize that it's just a feeling. It's not gonna kill you. You're not gonna die. And I say that, and maybe you think I'm being dramatic, but like sometimes when I feel like I don't want to feel a feeling, I feel like if I do feel it, it's the end of the world and I'm gonna feel like a shit person, and like something bad's gonna happen if I end up feeling it. And every single time I just let it happen, it's like smoking a cigarette. Like I smoke it, and then I'm just like, I get that buzz, and I kind of get that like don't smoke cigarettes, guys. I'm just comparing, fuck cigarettes. But, you get that like nicotine buzz, and you're just like, whoa, like what the fuck? Like, it kind of feels like that. You let it hit you, and you just accept it, and you just like have an out of body moment. And then if you're getting triggered over a person or a thing or a situation, here is the cherry on top that will free you and fucking like I don't know, surpass you from this whole situation. So this piece of advice my mom told me, and has been the most important piece of advice fucking ever, and it's gonna sound so contradictory, but it is literally sending love to your enemies and to the people that you are getting triggered by. And it sounds hard. It's hard to remember to do it, but it's the only fucking thing that will transmute and alchemize the energy in your body to get you out of it. Because if you're feeling angry and hatred and insecurity and jealous towards a person, first of all, you could be sending that to that person. And second of all, if you're not, you're still feeling it in your body, and it's affecting you. And you're the one struggling and going through this. It doesn't matter if it's about somebody else. Doesn't matter if somebody else wronged you. You're the only one suffering right now in this moment. So to alchemize and transmute the energy is fucking crucial. So I think praying is not attached to a certain religion. It is literally just a prayer to the spirits, to the universe, to God, whomever you want it to be, to your creator, to your angels, to your spirits, to you, to your higher self, whatever you choose for it to be. I decide to pray to the universe, my creator, like nature, my inner child, my divine self, my higher self, to something ethereal that I am attached to. So at the end of this trigger, if you are truly getting triggered, like you feel like it's the end of the world, this is what I want you to do. I want you to be like, I send love to this person, protect them, keep them safe, help them in their situation, protect their family, protect their mom, protect their kids, protect their dog, protect their house. Just start listing shit off. In my situation, I was really fucking jealous of my ex, and I don't even think he's with somebody, but I thought he was. So I was like, I pray for the person he's with. I pray for her. I pray for her family. I pray for them together. I pray for their whole scenario. I pray for the love between them. I pray for their safety and protection. And like, you don't even have to fucking really mean this. Like, just saying it or thinking it out loud is a game changer. And just start, whatever it is, start sending energy and change it. Instead of cursing, you're praying. And that literally, I know I sound bonkers for saying this, but it changes the energy inside of you. And you're basically praying for yourself. You're sending love for yourself, but you're doing it. You're starting with the root of the trigger, which is that person or that situation. If it's a job, I pray for this job. I pray for its abundance. I pray for its workers, for whatever. If it's for, the government and whatever, it's like, I pray for the government. I pray for their clarity. I pray for their focus. I pray for, their compassion on us or whatever the fuck. And I know it's not punk, and I know it's not like, rebellious, and there's a time to be punk, and there's a time to be angry, and there's a time to say your piece. But when you're struggling in the middle of the night or whatever, and you're triggered, that's not the time. The number one priority is you and your sanity and your safety. And, sometimes in my situation, I just needed to go to sleep. I just needed to not be triggered so I could go to sleep and get my rest. So once I did that, prayed for literally everything on that man's family, his life, whatever. And I literally felt like this energy unclasp. I felt release. I truly did start to feel love for all of the people in that situation. And it just really changed the energy inside of me. And then obviously I started praying for myself, pray for my protection, for my abundance, for my job, for my money, for everything I have, for my family, for my pets, just listing all of this stuff. Just get creative. I pray for, my fucking teeth to be white. I pray for my feet to not hurt. I pray for my dog to have fun this summer. Just random shit. I swear to you, it fucking works. Try it. It sounds stupid, but you don't ever know until you actually try it. And after that, I felt like something left me. I felt like my shadow had been rocked to sleep. Because I acknowledged my shadow was simply a wounded animal. And instead of being angry, I was actually genuinely hurt. And after that, I realized that I needed to be there for myself, emotionally and physically and whatever. I did not abandon myself in that moment. And I realized that instead of being compulsive and doing something to take it away, I decided to address the root issue. I didn't identify with my triggers or my insecurities or my feelings. I knew it was just energy and it needed to flow through me instead of getting dammed up and kind of haunting me, instead of flowing through me. I think a lot of people, they put a stopper on it, but it collects gunk. It literally it collects and it gets bigger if you don't let it come through you. It's like a river. It's it flows faster through you and fresher through you if you let it. And, after that, fucking sending love, sending peace, sending protection, sending compassion, realizing that you're not the only person out here and there's different perspectives and everyone's just trying to do their best. And obviously, if somebody's genuinely wronged you, that's not okay. But at the same time, sometimes sending love is for you, and sometimes forgiving and like all of that is for you. It doesn't really have to do with them, because you're the only one who has to heal it and carry it throughout the day. And, you know, I really hope that you have seen and changed, or, you know, got inspired on this whole topic of being triggered and getting triggered. You know, like, everyone says it, but they don't really know an actual way to get through it, you know. And I just wanted to put my piece on here. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I felt called to, and I'm wearing my veil to, you know, keep it sacred and protect my energy and your energy while I'm talking on this situation. And I don't feel triggered. I feel good, and I feel like my words were spoken, and I'm glad you guys have watched this video. And if you need to reference this back when you're feeling triggered, please do. And I'm sending protection and love to you, and it's okay to mess up. It's okay to feel jealous or insecure or angry, and it's okay to realize you did something wrong or hurt someone's feelings. Like, I think it's better to be able to have a safe perspective on your shadow than denying it at all, because if you're denying it, then you don't have a good relationship with it when it actually does come up, and when you actually did something fucked up and you need to be there for yourself. I think that's more important than thinking that you're perfect. So I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you next Tuesday.